Welcome back. Do you want to give the best care to your elderly parents? And wouldn't you like to know that you're going to get the best care? What does it take to prepare for our later years? And isn't it important to give that best care to loved ones? Well, here to address how caregivers and aging parents can come together is aging issues expert, inspirational speaker, and founder of the nonprofit Caregiver Story, Carolyn A. Brent.
Thank you, Dr. White. I'm honored to be here.
Welcome, Carolyn. It's a pleasure to have you. And you're tackling an issue that most of us don't want to talk about, don't want to hear about.
Absolutely.
We're talking about aging, and we live in the most aging-averse culture on the planet.
Absolutely.
Now, it's a little bit different in the African-American community because we have a tradition of honoring our elders. And what is the best way, in your opinion, for us to care for, to honor, to prepare?
Well, first of all, Dr. Wade, if we accept the point that we are going to die, not if we're going to die, that we will die, we can prepare early by having what I call a crucial conversation with family members, where everybody comes together and they talk about what if there's an unexpected emergency with mom and dad. How are we going to prepare for their care? And that's really important. And I have found that people don't want to talk about end of life because we live in a ageless society, anti-aging. We get our Botox, our tummy tucks, everything else. But we don't want to talk about how we can embrace the art of aging gracefully.
And you know what? We lose something because we live in the ageless culture. We lose the capacity to honor the wisdom that comes with maturity. We lose that idea that as we become mature, my job is to actually contribute more to those coming after me to make their journey easier. So I love the fact that you're talking about it, putting it on the table, because every one of us is going to leave this body behind at some point.
We are.
And the question is, how do we make the most of the journey while we're here, and how do we prepare? So what are the things we should know? What are the things we should do? We should have the conversation.
Absolutely. And there's 3 conversations that a person, I highly recommend they have. An emotional conversation, talking about it's emotional as we are growing older and our parents are not, you know, they become the child, we become the parent. Then the financial conversation, who's going to take care of mom and dad financially? Do they have a 401k? Where are all their assets? Because back in the day, parents are like the traditionalists. They would hide their money in the mattress or underneath the
I know
toilet
somebody
seat.
who did that, and recently an elderly man, somebody went in and stole all the money in the mattress.
Absolutely.
He literally had put the money in the mattress.
And they're doing it to this day. And then the last conversation is the medical and legal. It's so important to know your legal rights. The parents need to have at least a medical directive. There's 3 things they need. A medical directive, who's going to take care of mom and dad, and they want to appoint a person. Then the second one...
Now, explain the medical directive, because a lot of people may not know what it is and how important. And you talk about all that in your book, Why Wait, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So this will be a great resource for people, the Why Wait book. And now, explain medical directive.
A medical directive is a document, a legal document stating, well, Dr. Wade, I want you to take over everything in my life. If I should have a sudden, unexpected emergency, Dr. Wade would act on my best behalf. So that's a medical directive.
So you can't decide for yourself, but somebody you trust and somebody who loves you will look out for you. And the medical directive clarifies that.
It clarifies that. Then the second documentation they're going to need, legal doc, is a power of attorney, and also they need to know what a power of attorney is. A lot of people are very confused. There's a dual power of attorney and a doable. The dual power of attorney, Dr. Wade, is actually 2 people or 3 people tandemly making decisions together as to end-of-life concerns or issues or medical or financial.
So 2 people working together, whereas
there's also a doable power of attorney. That is when I would say, well, Dr. Wade, I want you to have my best interest at heart. I'm in my right mind, but I want you to pay all my bills and to do everything for me. However, at the end of that 1 year, if I become incapacitated or mentally I'm not able to make decisions on my own, that's the only power of attorney that will actually turn into the doable. So you will be responsible for me medically and also financially.
That's durable because it endures over time.
Absolutely.
And that's important. And it may seem strange that somebody would have it. I actually worked with somebody who was a private client of mine who was very ill, but she was mentally okay. And she gave the durable power of attorney to her daughter because she was in a wheelchair, even though she was mentally fine.
Absolutely.
And by the time that year was up, she was slipping because the illness was so severe.
Absolutely. And a lot of people don't recognize or realize they should really have the durable power of attorney.
Right. Now, we have so much information. Your book, Why Wait? The Baby Boomer's Guide to Preparing Emotionally, Financially, and Legally for a parent's death. And it seems like, oh my God, I'm preparing for my parent's death. Am I pushing them into the grave? No. You're making sure they are cared for appropriately while they're still here. So I want you to get more information. We all want to do the best for our elders. You can visit Carolyn's website at caregiverstory.com. Pick up her book. Carolyn, thank you for tackling a tough subject that most of us don't want to hear about. But if we love Mother and Mother's Day, let's make sure we take care of her.
That's right.
You stay right there. We're coming back.
Thank you so much.